Welcome back to the 100 Podcast. I'm Dan, your mountain man, and today I'm discussing my very first reactions to Season 5, Episode 5, Shifting Sands. So I just finished the episode, and it was my favorite of the season so far. I don't even really know why. I just thought it was so much fun. I loved all the character interactions. It's just nice to be, I guess, in the thick of it now. We're really getting to see how everybody's changed in these past 6 years and how they interact with each other. I think we got some really nice moments with Bellamy and Clark. I enjoyed the back and forth interaction with Bellamy and Octavia. We had more interesting stuff with Abby and Kane, who have become really important this season in a way that I don't feel like they've been this important since the premiere, and not even the premiere, the season 1, I mean. And I'm really quite enjoying what they're doing with those two characters. Murphy continues to be great. Raven continues to be my favorite heart ever. She's amazing. And I don't know, I just think that there were multi different storylines going on at once, and I think the whole icky sand buggy parasite things were really creepy and cool. And in the meantime, we also had this cool space missile thing going on over here, and then we had the politics of oh, Bellamy being very uncertain about everything that Octavia's changed into. I think Indra was great in this episode. I really enjoyed her telling Octavia that she loves her is that weakness. I thought the way Adina Porter delivered that was great. It was sort of nonchalant but charged with something deeper. Obviously it's a big moment for her to say that, but it's also kind of well, I love you, blah blah blah. And it was a very beautiful Indra moment that I really enjoyed. I talked about last week that I wish that we got more shorter, not shorter, I mean this quieter, slower moments with Bellamy and Clark, and I think we got some nice moments of this here. I really enjoyed both of them sort of deliberating about what do we do? Do we go? And they both were just yep, we go this after this sandstorm craziness. I really enjoyed how Bellamy was so emotional about Octavia, but Clark was able to sort of see okay, Bellamy, I understand she's your sister, but see the bigger picture here. And I really appreciated that Clark was really appreciative and in some ways respected what Octavia had done as a leader, despite all the crazy cultness of it all. And I appreciated that by the end of the episode, Bellamy got there too. Unfortunately, we have Octavia really being solidified as a villain of the season, with her sort of tyrannical thing of my way or no other way. I'm not gonna let you say anything different than what I say, and what I say goes. And on this show full of many leaders and very hot-headed and opinionated people, that can only lead to disaster coming forward. I loved getting to see Maddie and Clark reunite. I loved getting to see Maddie interact with Murphy and all that stuff. I think Shaw had some really good stuff here. There's definitely some icky points of I don't know. We still don't really know what's going to happen with the whole Echo Bellamy kiss, and then you see Clark walking off, and then it's focused on her, not on the kiss, and it's why are we doing this? Especially when it's Echo has been kind of almost the whole thing was that she was supposed to be a series regular this season, and I feel she's almost been in it less than she was last year. And then so I'm just what is going what was your plan here? Why are you relegating her to this role? It definitely seems the next episode will be much more Echo heavy, and we'll get to see her clashing with Octavia, which I think could be cool. But it does feel they weirdly sidelined her and Monty and all those people for a while. And I know it's not actually that long, but they just haven't gotten that much to do. And I love Monty and Harper, and I do like that we had Murphy and Amori end up once again against the world in the woods together. We're gonna see what happens with that. Maybe they'll be some of the first people to join over with Dioza now he's trying to, take in some people. Although Murphy siding with the people who were shocking him. It's a little crazy, but Murphy's a little crazy, so we'll see. But meanwhile, yeah, so we have Dioza sort of coming to terms, I guess, with the idea that maybe even though these are technically my people, maybe they're not the best people to have around. Maybe I should have people who love me and shit and are willing to sacrifice themselves for me. I do think that was one of the stranger parts of the episode, because at the very beginning, she was like, they're fanatical. So she kind of already knew that they like would do anything for Octavia. And it's like, she thinks they're fanatics. Why does she think that she can like sway them to her side if they're not very good fanatics? If they will just come over and join her. On top of that, I'm kind of like, what did he... I just don't know if I'm missing some things. I definitely am excited to rewatch this episode because I felt like there were a lot of things, like little details here and there I was missing while I was checking Twitter every 5 seconds and all that stuff. So I'm excited to go back and write down notes and all that jazz. But I'm like, what did she tell everybody about why she didn't just shoot another missile once they found out that Octavia was alive? Like, why wouldn't McCreary be like, okay, let's do it again? It doesn't make a ton of sense. That said, again, I like that they're having Shaw sort of be like their man on the inside. I really enjoyed Lindsay Morgan's performance here after the torture of her sort of taking control of the situation, using that magnificent brain of hers and making some tough choices. She didn't solve the problem, but she got Murphy out of there, and that's certainly interesting. It's definitely, I don't know what they're playing at here with like, is that supposed to say like, oh, he really cares about Murphy and wanted to get him out? Is it like just made the most sense because like, as far as her plan goes, they needed to be that like, oh, she stays behind because she's the one who would know the codes? Or are they building something else bigger there? And it's like, I really do enjoy her and Murphy's interactions, but then in the same episode you have Amori staying behind with John, which is really sweet and interesting, but it's like, I don't know where they're going with this, and it feels like, okay, we have that going on, and then we also have the Becco thing going on, and so it's like a lot of crazy emotions. But I definitely think we could still see a Shaw-Raven thing developing with some begrudging respect. It's an interesting way to start them, where she's still like pissed at him. So many interesting things. For whatever reason, I really enjoyed McCreary and Appy together in this episode. I think it's because Paige is just doing such a good job, and the actor who plays McCreary, even though if the McCreary is kind of one note, I think the actor is doing a really great job. I have to look up his name. I liked how sort of fanatical we have Miller being in this episode. He has a one-track mind. Even after everything Bellamy had done for him, he just is Octavia's soldier now. And I think that's really interesting. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. We do a podcast here every week, a bigger audio podcast, me and Olga. Every week we do an audio podcast. You can check that out on the100podcast.com and audio podcast services around the world. That will be out in a few days. We'd like to take your feedback. So if you leave comments down below, we can read some of those thoughts and questions and criticisms about the show, or you can email us at the100pod@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at the100podcast. All those great things would be lovely. So thank you guys so much for watching, and may we meet again.